In a small town drenched in rain, a quiet young man named Jack lived a seemingly simple life. Jack was an accountant, just another face in the bustling city. He resided in an apartment that overlooked the ceaselessly dappled streets, each drop a reminder of time passing and dreams unfulfilled. Life had painted him in muted colors, steady, reliable, yet ambiguous, always doing what others expected. Beneath the layers of ledgers and calculations, a labyrinth of untold stories and unshed tears lingered. Jack's life was built upon meticulous foundations, as if each spreadsheet was a map of his universe. Yet, hidden are cracks and whispers known only to him. His childhood was spent in the hushed suburbs of a larger city, with neat brick houses and manicured lawns. Life wasn't as it seemed there either. Everything curiously organized, yet unraveling beneath the surface. His parents, Richard and Eleanor, were society's definition of perfection. His father, a stern military man turned logistician, impeccably disciplined even in his retirement. His mother, an artist turned homemaker, her every smile perfectly etched, yet rigid and rehearsed. Duty first, his father would declare, his words clipped like his mustache, while his mother passionately poured herself into her eclectic pottery designs, every vase a silent expression. Yet, amidst this tapestry of duty and stoicism, Jack often found solace in Sabrina, his sister. Sabrina, sprightly and impassioned, danced to her own rhythm, a thunderstorm of energy. She became a journalist with fiery ambition, unearthing stories with instinctual fervor. I remember the kitchen table discussions late into the night, as Sabrina shared her latest dispatches from the city's edges, tales of unsung heroes and discarded dreams. Jack listened, his quiet presence a beacon in her whirlwind of words. And then Steve came into Sabrina's life, like a reckless gust through open windows. He was a sculptor, living in a crowded loft, hands always marked by clay, a spirit that complemented Sabrina's lively soul. Jack, hearing the stories of their escapades, felt inspired yet worried. Steve charmed all, with his unpolished wit, and Jack, ever reserved, sensed an imbalance. Steve's charm could mask cracks in any relationship. Sabrina was enchanted, as though Steve sculpted a different reality through his affections. Their love was potent, thriving amidst struggles and compromise, linked by shared dreams and laughter. These moments painted vivid strokes on the canvas of Sabrina's world. Seasons passed, and phone calls transited more stories. Sabrina's tales grew quieter until one rainy evening, Jack's phone buzzed with a message that changed everything. Steve's left. "I'm at the old gazebo by the hills. Please come." Despite the brewing storm outside, Jack found himself on the road, heart pounding, anguished by memories unraveling, moving towards a sister in distress. As the downpour blurred his way, Jack's thoughts raced. Love, when tethered too tightly to ephemeral ideals, often frays. Sabrina, for all her passionate energy, was weathering her own storm alone. Jack drove with furious resolve, headlights casting shadows on the wet asphalt, steering through rain-flecked streets with his sister's pain echoing in the silent corridors of his heart. Reaching the gazebo at dawn, he found Sabrina drenched, her eyes wide with unshed tears. Jack embraced her without hesitation, the rain a curtain around their shared grief. "It's okay," he whispered, as Sabrina's defenses broke, tears mingling with rain. Together they stood against the gray, infused with a bond unspoken yet powerful. The old records played their favorite tunes, as Sabrina recounted her heart's tale, between Jack's silent nods and the rain's symphony. As Jack returned home with Sabrina, a haunting realization settled within him. Healing wasn't about forgetting, but accepting. He silently vowed to not let duty define him, but rather to forge his life with love and understanding. Thus began their collective journey towards healing and embracing rebirth, a testament of resilience woven through whispered vows and scarred, yet enduring hope. Remember to subscribe and support us for more captivating stories, ensuring you never miss an entry into these tales that touch the heart and stir the soul. Days turned into weeks as Sabrina settled into Jack's modest apartment. The morning lights, often caught in the rain, crept through the curtains, illuminating new beginnings as the siblings embarked on a road back to uncharted normalcy. Jack's routine changed, evolving artfully to accommodate Sabrina's presence. Once a sanctuary of solitude, his home now thrived with her energy, a blend of old vinyl records spinning melodies and pages of ink-splattered notes scattered across the living room. The duality of their existence brought a surprising warmth. Sabrina's spirit, though fragile, started rekindling its fire. Like a phoenix rising, she began scribing her thoughts, gradually shaping them into stories that combined resilience with beauty. Perhaps I should work on a new article, she pondered aloud one morning, her voice still finding its strength. What about? Jack asked, genuinely curious as he held the steaming mugs of coffee he prepared, the aroma a comfort each morning provided. Redemption, Sabrina replied softly, looking through the window into the distance. The kind of stories that never get told, those who stand quietly after the fall. Jack nodded, understanding deeply. He felt the resonance of such tales, shadows of his own solitude mirrored in Sabrina's resolve. He admired her persistence and watched as she scribbled notes, ideas taking form through her fingertips. Their parents were another matter. Calls were rare, conversations curt. Jack hadn't delved into the details with Sabrina, respecting her space. But their mother's insistence on maintaining appearances still loomed large. The neighbors have been asking about you, their mother had remarked with a tone often reserved for shame. I have my life, Mom, Sabrina had said, leaving it at that. Each conversation was a test of patience, their father in the background, never speaking but always present, his disapproval palpable through the silence. Despite their indifference, Jack resolved to support Sabrina unfettered by expectations. Though his own life, made rich through steadfast numbers and data, now seemed painted with uncertainty, he found comfort in shared experiences and quiet understanding. There were days Sabrina sat by the window, eyes far away as raindrops traced patterns on glass. But as her words flowed from pen to page, the storm within her slowly abated, leaving behind clarity and purpose. Jack, observing her dedication, realized how her presence had become a silent confirmation of what truly mattered. The air was lighter, his heart warmer, with her laughter creating echoes in their small but vibrant sanctuary. Their bond, long nurtured and profoundly deepened by circumstance, continued to blossom. Jack's quiet reliability melded seamlessly with Sabrina's vivid creativity, evolving their relationship into a partnership of shared resilience. With a unique synergy, Jack supported Sabrina in building her narrative, offering a steady hand while mastering the balance of numbers and family obligations. Their life, though far from seamless, found a rhythm, with Jack discovering layers of humanity beyond figures and Sabrina unearthing the power in vulnerability. But shadows never disappear completely. Steve tried reaching out, masked regrets in his apologies. Sabrina listened, unwavering but unmoved, recognizing the need to sever ties for her own resurrection. The life they rebuilt was delicately interlaced with dreams and reality, a juxtaposition of rain tapping against windows and persistent keyboards clicking, forging forward despite lingering echoes of the past. One evening, Sabrina looked at Jack while they worked side by side. "Thank you," she whispered. He nodded affectionately, a quiet promise reflected in his eyes. "Always," he replied, and they shared a smile that needed no words. The apartment, bathed in rain's melody, became a symbol of endurance, a reminder that though tempests may rage, moments of peace and unity irrevocably flicker brightly through the gloom. For their audience, those feeling adrift or silenced by life's chaos, remember stories like these remind us of courage. Please like, subscribe, and join our journey, embracing tales of triumph over adversity. As the months wore on, Sabrina's new project began to take shape, gaining momentum just as leaves of autumn fell through the vast urban canopy. The rain, ever present, added a comfortable backdrop to their routine, fostering creative inspiration. Sabrina's article series, titled Echoes of the Brave, took flight, showcasing the quiet valiance of individuals who reclaimed their lives against all odds. Each story she unearthed was a mirror reflecting her own journey, both a conduit of healing and an offering of hope to kindred spirits. Jack, a steadfast supporter of her dreams, became her silent partner in this endeavor. Between his ledger books and spreadsheets, he found time to proofread articles, provide counsel, or simply be her audience when voices of doubt whispered too loudly. Their days together passed in a symphony of collaboration, each one contributing something tangible to the world they were collectively weaving. Sabrina's stories touched those who could silence worlds with their courage, illustrating not grand battles but the small victories that illuminate our humanity. One such story belonged to Anna, a local artisan who transformed broken ceramics into mosaics, mending pieces with gold lacquer, a master of the ancient art of kintsugi. Sabrina sat with her for hours, listening and documenting how Anna crafted art that mirrored the beauty of imperfection. "I mend the cracks, highlighting them, not hiding them," Anna explained, her eyes reflecting wisdom. "It's about embracing the fractures to honor both past and potential." Sabrina's articles soon attracted attention beyond their small town, their reach extending far and wide. Community impact turned global, drawing in publishers intrigued by authentic narratives promising insight and catharsis. While Sabrina found solace in these tales, Jack faced his own quiet revolution in the heart of numbers. Balancing complexities lovingly with newfound ambitions for a more connected existence, he recognized within the facets of his life a newfound harmony. Yet, one evening as they shared dinner, Sabrina expressed a thought simmering quietly beneath their comfort zone. "Jack, have you thought about taking a break?" she asked, her voice laced with curiosity. "A break?" he responded, slightly caught off guard. "Yes," Sabrina said, leaning in. "You've been my pillar. It's time you embraced life beyond obligations, maybe a trip or a new pursuit." Jack pondered the idea, realizing that amidst supporting Sabrina, he'd forgotten his own aspirations. He reflected on the parallel stories he had witnessed, their courage inspiring him to face his own unanswered longing. Her words, spoken gently over the wafting aroma of homemade soup, invited a shift in perspective, casting light on unexplored pathways, sparking quiet yearning. "I'll consider it," he nodded decisively, an excitement stirring as Sabrina beamed across the table, eyes lit with encouragement. Around them, the world shifted, the clouds parting to unveil new horizons previously shrouded. Sabrina's resolve to unearth raw, impactful stories and Jack's contemplations of a vibrant, renewed life promised a multifaceted tapestry of interconnectedness. Driven by these revelations, the siblings decided to host a gathering, Stories Set Free. It was an intimate evening, inviting those within Sabrina's articles, a mingling of voices and experiences curated to initiate healing through community. The event, bathed in the soft glow of candlelight and woven with melodies from a local jazz ensemble, filled their home with laughter and introspection. Through tears and shared smiles, this convergence became an embodiment of courage and creativity, revelations intertwining in harmonious echoes of solidarity. Jack, quietly orchestrating the evening's success from the background, marveled at how their lives had evolved. Sabrina was warmly embraced by a tribe of storytellers, individuals who, like her, had harnessed adversity into artistry. "Thank you," she said again later that night, silently acknowledging his unwavering support once more. Neither knew what awaited on the horizon, but as the rain misted outside, softly tapping against the windows, both were confident in the path ahead, a journey strengthened by shared trials, resilience, and boundless aspirations. We invite you to subscribe to our channel for more empowering stories that resonate with the shared struggles and triumphs we navigate, inspiring action and reflection at every twist and turn. One winter morning, with a bright chill in the air, Jack found himself reflecting on the changes the past year had brought. The solitude of his old routine was now replaced with the vibrant complexities of life, shared with Sabrina and the kaleidoscope of individuals she had brought into his world. Sabrina's articles had blossomed into something greater, a book deal. Their evening discussions often revolved around structuring chapters and exploring thematic depths as she turned words into a tangible testament of human resilience. As Sabrina grew more confident, so did her stories. Her living room, filled with the scent of freshly brewed coffee, buzzing with her energy and laughter that reverberated through their shared space, offered new narratives each day, echoing the unyielding strength of the human spirit. Amidst this creative renaissance, Jack pondered his sister's encouragement to chase his own dreams. The concept of a break became increasingly appealing. His mind wandered to distant beaches, towering mountain trails, or a possible sabbatical to redefine his career beyond the rigidity of figures. Yet one evening, an unexpected opportunity knocked at Jack's door. It was a letter from a prestigious architectural firm looking to overhaul a historical building, a chance to blend his love for precision with artistic innovation. The position was located out of town, demanding both movement and perspective. He pondered over it under the kitchen's soft evening light, the jangle of pasta on the stove behind him. Sabrina, sensing his contemplation, joined him, reading the contours of excitement and apprehension on his face. "Is this your chance?" she asked softly, setting down a dish of lasagna with a comforting clink. "It might be," he replied, tracing the letter's edges. "But leaving means everything changes." "It would," Sabrina acknowledged, her voice brimming with equal parts support and conviction. "But maybe that's exactly what we need, a nudge to embrace the next chapter." Over dinner, they sifted through pros and cons like characters in one of Sabrina's stories, finding meaning in change and the delicate dance of embracing uncertainty. Though moving encompassed leaving behind the safety of shared moments, Jack realized that growth demanded stepping into the unknown, unbound by fear or inertia. Decided, he marked the postal envelope with bold certainty, an acceptance and a promise. The following weeks swirled in preparations as their world pivoted towards transformation. Jack, immersed in plans, spreadsheets, and lists, felt the familiar thrill of an impending challenge ahead. Sabrina, balancing her blossoming authorship with cherished moments together, expressed her faith in Jack's decision, their occasional silences filled with understanding. They both knew this marked not an end, but a remarkable new beginning. Soon, the apartment echoed with the rhythms of farewell, each cardboard box an emblem of transitioned lives. Through it all, Jack remained a steadfast presence, Sabrina's co-author in life's unfolding narrative. On his last night, Sabrina presented him with a framed photograph. True to her flair, the image was incomplete. The two of them entwined in laughter, windswept and caught mid-embrace. The lower frame remained unfilled, a call to add new moments, unfinished tales yet to be etched. "Keep this with you," Sabrina said, her voice warm as they took a moment under the starless expanse outside. Their shared silence brimmed with gratitude, the rain reflecting memories back towards the sky. Jack set his sight beyond the horizon, a journey defined not by the rain but by kindred spirits. The morning of his departure was kissed by mist, continuing its natural rhythm as Jack turned towards the train that awaited, a vessel towards destiny's embrace. "No walls can cage the stories we've lived," Sabrina mused, words draping over her brother, a comforting robe stitched from handwritten pages and shared experiences. With a hug that quelled lingering doubts, Jack left, buoyed with quiet determination, propelled by an embrace of uncertainty. He understood now that the rain wasn't an ending, but a conduit connecting past, present, and unexplored possibilities. Their journey, drawn across maps of uncharted hope and tenacity, was yet another chapter within stories yet untold. Join us with a subscription to further explore stories that transcend barriers, discovering the power of beginnings that redefine expectations and rekindle inspiration. Jack settled into his new life, finding unexpected comfort within the slow unfolding of the city's rhythm, vast and strange. The architectural firm was as prestigious as the letter had promised, and the historical renovation project quickly absorbed him. Each day was a dance between blueprints and brainstorming, as Jack collaborated with artists and engineers to blend modern functionality with the dignity of aged walls. His excitement was palpable, fueling long hours as he navigated challenging design hurdles. Yet, amidst the structured chaos, Jack's heart carried whispers of the past like a cherished playlist. He found solace in calls with Sabrina, their voices weaving stories across cityscapes and silencing distance. While Jack immersed himself in work, Sabrina thrived in her literary journey. Her book, Echoes of the Brave, found resonance, its pages a balm for those who sought redemption amid remnants of adversity. The initial book launch was a humble affair in a cozy bookstore nestled between vibrant street murals. Yet word of her work spread, lighting fires in hearts across community networks and beyond. Book sales climbed, and Sabrina's calendar filled with speaking engagements from varying spaces of empowerment, an unexpected whirlwind embracing her into the fold of storytellers she once admired. "People really want to hear my story," she mused one evening, her voice laced with disbelief as she relayed her adventures to Jack on the phone. "Of course they do. Your words resonate," Jack replied, pride infusing his voice. He was far away, yet in thoughts and heart, her guiding star. Sabrina stood before audiences who found strength in her courage, her voice raw and authentic as she revealed scars beneath the polish. Despite scattered setbacks, including sporadic criticism from those who shunned exposure of such personal tales, Sabrina held firm. Jack marveled at her ever-illuminating resolve, absorbing these challenges as fuel for her artistic fire. Their bond, even from afar, deepened as each shaped their own narrative, a parallel dance of creation and evolution stitching their worlds. However, amidst flourishing success, Sabrina found herself contemplating the intricacies of identity and the delicate interplay between remembrance and reinvention. She was invited to a prestigious writer's retreat on a fog-laden island. It was a chance to reset, reinvigorate, and perhaps discover layers beyond the crafted prose etched in permanence. Understanding the gravity of her decision, she reached out to Jack for advice, knowing his pragmatism could lend clarity. "Do you think it's worth it?" Sabrina mused, listening intently as ocean waves murmured in her receiver. "Sometimes stepping back offers the clearest view," Jack replied, recalling his own risk and how it shaped his life anew. "This might be your moment of transformation." Inspired, Sabrina accepted, determined to explore. From afar, Jack supported her journey, their separate paths echoing the wisdom shared on humid evenings years ago. The retreat on misty shores transcended Sabrina's expectations. Her days were filled with spirited discussions, her nights contemplative, cradled by the symphony of waves against sand. Her stories grew richer, textures woven from these interactions. Jack, meanwhile, continued innovating amidst the remnants of history, his footprints left among creaking archways and revitalized galleries. Every beam, every window restored seemed to breathe new life into his purpose. As Sabrina returned from her island retreat, sunlight began to pierce her world with radiant clarity. She was invigorated with a wealth of ideas, her creative spark flourishing anew. Despite distances, change wove threads of anticipation between Jack and Sabrina, each eagerly awaiting their next shared chapter, unwritten yet vividly imagined. Time, like the tides, ebbed and flowed, but the legacy they created through stories was a testament that anchored them amidst life's tempests. We encourage you to subscribe and journey with us as these enduring stories unfold, illuminating the resilience of the human heart and spirit that unite us across vast expanses. Several months had flown by since Jack and Sabrina began their journeys in separate worlds, each day bringing them closer to the realization of their dreams and ambitions. Despite the distance, the bonds they shared remained unshakable, each call and message a lifeline, transmitting warmth and comfort. Sabrina had come back from the retreat transformed, not just as a storyteller, but as a beacon of resilience for many who walked similar paths of rediscovering themselves. Her public speaking engagements grew, with audiences marveling at how she wove wisdom and vulnerability into her narratives. The feedback was overwhelmingly positive, with people resonating deeply with her message of hope and perseverance. Sabrina was continually inspired by the stories of those she met, fellow seekers of life's elusive beauty amidst trials. She penned a new article series inspired by these encounters, which soon captured national attention. Jack, on the other hand, was successfully managing the architectural project, his work reflecting the harmony between historical preservation and modern innovation. The completed project, a breathtaking fusion of past and present, was lauded by critics and peers, positioned as a benchmark for future designs. Yet, amid the accolades, he missed the familiar intimacy of shared laughter and conversations with Sabrina. To celebrate their parallel successes and reaffirm their bond, he planned a visit, eager to reconnect with the sister whose footsteps in creativity mirrored his. Upon reuniting, their elation was palpable, the laughter and shared stories echoing through the corridors of Sabrina's cozy apartment, a refuge brimming with sunlight and inspiration. To mark Jack's achievements, Sabrina had arranged for a small gathering of family and friends. Their parents, although not always comprehending the decisions Jack and Sabrina made, agreed to attend and extend support. The gathering was a tapestry of memories, Jack greeting old friends, Sabrina sharing tales with newer acquaintances, and the delight of being surrounded by their supportive inner circle. Their parents entered towards the evening's end. Despite the stiffness that marked years of difference, Richard and Eleanor embraced Jack tightly, their presence a quiet acknowledgement of his accomplishments. "We're proud of you," their father said, the words forged through the sincerity of newfound respect. Their mother nodded, her usual reserve softened by emotion that rarely bared itself outright. "Your choice was brave, Jack," she admitted, perhaps seeing in her children the courage to aspire beyond confines. Though societal admiration and family understanding couldn't erase the parts of themselves shaped by past expectations, the encounter birthed hope, a dawning realization that bridges could indeed be rebuilt. The night air, heavy with promise, welcomed new beginnings, woven into narratives for the siblings who dared tread paths anew. During dinner, Sabrina excitedly announced her latest endeavor, a book on her second retreat experience, interwoven with the stories of those she had connected with across her journey. "I want to explore how our connections help us grow," Sabrina explained, eyes alight with inspiration. Jack, watching her animated expressions, couldn't help but admire the metamorphosis she'd undergone, fueled by the raw lyricism of her insights. For them, this celebration was more than just acknowledgement. It was a reaffirmation that while paths may diverge, the soul's resilience, fueled by purpose and shared strength, will continue to rise and forge beautiful tales. The following morning, before Jack departed, Sabrina handed him a freshly bound journal. On its cover, an embossed tree, a symbol of growth and renewal. "For the stories you'll live and the dreams you'll build," Sabrina said, smiling warmly as they hugged. Jack accepted it gratefully, understanding it as both a blessing and a challenge. As he journeyed home, the weight of uncharted dreams firmly anchored him into what lay ahead, lives yet to intertwine, stories yet to be written. Please subscribe to our channel for more stories of transformation and the unbreakable bonds that shape who we become. Together, let us find strength in shared narratives and journeyings. As Jack returned to his cityscape canvas, resuming his whirlwind of projects and creative pursuits, he couldn't help but reflect on the warmth of family bonds rekindled. The visit had reignited old confidences, and with it, his midnight contemplations turned often to Sabrina's journey and the kinship they've renewed. Sabrina's progress did not pause either. With the manuscript of her next book well underway, it encapsulated her evolving insights into the transformative power of shared narratives. Her dedication was inspiring, and as she committed her insights to paper, Sabrina's voice grew clearer and stronger. The world recognized her voice as not only that of a storyteller, but as one that echoed the very essence of empathy and understanding. She became a sought-after speaker at literary festivals, community gatherings, and workshops, each platform another opportunity to weave connections and inspire. Meanwhile, Jack immersed himself once again in architecture, the city breathing life into his vision. His approach, influenced by Sabrina's stories, began to reflect more than just structural integrity. He sought to capture and echo voices crafted by communities and memories. Among the deadlines and designs, he embraced another personal endeavor, a collaborative exhibition blending architecture, photography, and prose, intended to explore the intersections of space and human experience. The concept bloomed from a shared brainstorm session with a local photographer enamored by urban landscapes, who saw beauty in the unnoticed corners of the city. Together, they crafted a series of thematic installations that captured the heartbeat of the city. Titled City Whispers, Jack's first foray into multidisciplinary art would reflect both his professional growth and personal metamorphosis, an offering sprung from Sabrina's unwavering encouragement. Excitement and anticipation wove through the preparations as Jack prepared to unveil his project to the world. It was an endeavor not without challenges, negotiating space and cost, bringing diverse creative minds together, and unifying them under a single, inexorable vision. Sabrina, ever supportive, promised to attend the exhibition's opening night. She crafted her own words to accompany the exhibition, contextual narratives bridging art and audience, augmenting the visceral journey the pieces aspired to capture. Their collaboration fueled Jack's commitment, the anticipation burning brightly within him, ignited by Sabrina's messages, her voice a foundation affirming his dreams. So came the night of the exhibition, the city stars tucked behind gentle swathes of clouds. It was a humbling moment as Jack stood among dozens of friends, colleagues, and new acquaintances, watching as attendees experienced the work's uniquely bridged story and design. Photographic prints hung along gallery walls, enhanced by Jack's intricate models depicting imagined spaces. Sabrina's text, accompanying each piece, acted as a guiding thread between those expressing and those experiencing. Under each installation, little didactic panels contained Sabrina's reflections, words that beckoned attendees to explore deeper shades of meaning, presenting the city as a living memoir of shared experiences and spaces. Walking through the gallery, Jack observed interactions, listened to whispers of awe, and saw approached individuals losing themselves in the articulated symphony of space and narrative. Sabrina stood not far, her presence grounding as she listened to feedback, encouraging discussions aligned with her voracious curiosity and providing Jack with quiet motivation. "You did it," Sabrina murmured, sidling up beside him, the pride in her eyes a balm to any anticipation. "I couldn't have done it alone," Jack replied, grateful to share a moment of accomplishment. Their evening concluded with heartfelt conversations under the sparkling city lights that merged with the echoes of shared achievement. Jack and Sabrina's mutual endeavors stood as a testament to their evolution, a lifespan of dreams courageously embellished by bonds resilient and true. Continue to subscribe for enriching stories exploring intersections of creativity, the human spirit, and triumph small and large as we chronicle journeys of growth and inspiration. The success of the City Whispers exhibition resonated far beyond its initial opening. Jack's artistic vision, complemented by Sabrina's evocative narratives, struck a chord not only locally, but also sparked interest in broader creative circles. Invitations soon followed, proposing the exhibition be displayed in various cultural spaces across the country. For the siblings, the experience distilled their faith in the power of collaboration, a belief in the potential of blending distinct talents to create something that transcended individual accomplishments. On the heels of this success, Sabrina submitted the finalized manuscript of her second book to the publisher. Full of evocative essays and vivid explorations of the human condition, the book delved into the transformative capacity of connection. The weeks that followed were pacing with anticipation. As she awaited feedback from her editor, Sabrina busied herself with various speaking engagements, sharing her stories and gathering new inspirations. As for Jack, the experience of the exhibition had shifted his perspective profoundly. Eager to explore further, he began brainstorming new projects that would blend his architectural acumen with artistic expression. Drawing inspiration from the city's undercurrents, he planned concepts for public spaces designed not just as structural elements, but as experiences that evoke emotions and stories. Despite their individual goals, Jack and Sabrina remained interconnected through frequent conversations, exchanging ideas, seeking feedback, and bolstering each other's spirits as they navigated their respective paths. One evening, as Jack wandered down a bustling city street alive with evening chatter, he reflected on the time that had passed, the choices made, and the transformations since he'd first moved. The city's rhythm had become his own, each step reinforcing a sense of belonging. He felt immense gratitude for the journey, owing much of it to Sabrina's unwavering encouragement. It was during such a reflective moment that Jack's phone buzzed. A notification from Sabrina arrived, a subtle harbinger of excitement. "Guess what?" the message read, followed by a cascade of emojis. Attached was a photo of a letter bearing the official seal of her publisher, an acceptance and release date for her new book, destined to be shared with a wide audience. Overjoyed, Jack called her immediately, their conversation an exuberant mix of laughter and plans. Sabrina's achievement was a victory not just for her literary ambition, but for every person whose story intertwined with hers. "This is amazing," Jack said, his voice filled with genuine pride. "Your words are going to touch so many lives." "Thanks, Jack," Sabrina replied warmly. "And I couldn't have done it without your support. You helped shape this journey, you know." They continued talking, mapping out possibilities and future collaborations, their excitement threading through the promise of what was to come. In the following weeks, signs of change emerged as Jack finalized his plans for innovative designs. A new urban park revitalizing a neglected neighborhood, pivoting public space into an oasis of imagination and community dialogue. With the project approved, Jack stood as a visionary bridging practical structure with emotional resonance, drawing artistry from experience and spearheading communal resurgence. Sabrina soon began preparations for her book tour, weaving tales of inspiration and kinship across pages and stages, always inviting her audiences to see the world through fresh perspectives. Life, too, blossomed in synchrony with creativity, an intricate dance folding paths of renewal into rhythm, enriching lives with stories crafted by the courage to evolve. As siblings who embraced their dreams and relentless tenacity, Jack and Sabrina moved forward, grateful for every step traveled together and apart, paving pathways connected by the timeless power of story. For continued updates on our journey, reflections on creativity, and insights into heartening endeavors, subscribe and join us as we traverse and celebrate life's boundless landscapes. As Sabrina embarked on her book tour across the country, Jack was busy bringing his transformative public space project to life. The park was designed as a testament to community spirit, a place where stories could unfold not just on the pages of Sabrina's books, but among the trees, benches, and pathways crafted from Jack's vision. Sabrina's tour was a whirlwind of emotion and inspiration, each stop a blend of familiar faces and new connections, a tapestry of stories interwoven through shared conversations and eager questions from her readers. Her book, a heartfelt exploration of human resilience and connection, was met with open arms and profound discussions on courage and creativity. At home, Jack navigated the challenges and triumphs of urban design, his park beginning to take shape under the tenacity of workers and the watchful eye of the city's residents. He coordinated with local artists to incorporate interactive sculptures and murals into the landscape, aiming for more than just aesthetic appeal, striving to inspire and invite engagement. Both projects bore the signs of their creators' influence, intertwined with subtle nods to their journeys and individual growth. Their efforts inadvertently began a dialogue on transformation and renewal, fostering a community narrative of hope and change. Back on the road, Sabrina absorbed the energy from each city, each enthusiastic reader further solidifying her belief in the power of words to heal. As cities passed by like chapters, she saw glimpses of her journey reflected in the people she met, each craving connection and understanding through her stories. During one especially memorable stop, Sabrina was invited to speak at a literary festival alongside renowned authors, her idols. It was humbling and validating her dedication and affirming the path she'd chosen. Jack, from afar, celebrated her successes, the distance unable to dilute his pride and admiration for her achievements. He looked forward to her return, eager to share the progress on his park, a living embodiment of their shared ethos. As weeks went on, Sabrina finished her tour, returning home with new stories and a lifetime of inspiration. The siblings reunited in the evolving sanctuary of Jack's new park, its budding paths whispering promise and potential. Standing together under a sky painted with hues of sunset, Jack and Sabrina shared their successes, the highs and lows of their separate yet interlocking pursuits. "I wish you could have seen the faces light up," Sabrina said, recalling a reading where audience members echoed her narrative, reflecting their own journeys alongside hers. "In a way, I think I have," Jack replied, gesturing to a nearby mural inspired by Sabrina's words, energy encapsulated in vibrant colors. Their shared laughter punctuated the air as the city settled into night. Their journeys, though unique, continued to echo the same heartbeats of resilience and creativity, a beacon for the paths yet unfound. Jack and Sabrina, standing side by side, saw in each other not just siblings but partners in the grand narrative of life, a story retold through the expanses of time, narrated by the courage to dream and the freedom to grow. Seasons would change, and with them, new adventures awaited. Yet Jack and Sabrina understood a shared truth. Though the stories we weave are individual, the threads of support and love remain enduringly interconnected. Join us and subscribe for more chronicles of creativity, inspiration, and the unyielding power of human connection, and journey with us through tales that uplift and unite under shared stars. The opening of Jack's Park was a much-anticipated event, celebrated by the local community as a testament to their resilience and spirit. The park buzzed with life. Children laughed, elderly couples strolled hand in hand, and artists sketched on benches, while tourists snapped photos of the art installations that decorated the landscape. The centerpiece of the park was a serene pond encircled by lush greenery and installations made from recycled materials, symbolizing renewal and transformation. Jack, watching the park come alive, felt a sense of fulfillment unparalleled by any past accomplishment. To commemorate the event, Sabrina was invited to perform a reading from her book adjacent to the largest mural in the park. It was a moment of convergence, her narrative and Jack's vision mingling amidst the urban oasis. As Sabrina's words flowed over the crowd, she watched as they resonated with listeners, creating ripples through the gathering. Her presence combined with Jack's vision cemented the park's place as an evolving space for not just leisure, but for personal and communal stories to flourish. "I've never felt more proud of us," Jack confessed to Sabrina after her reading, as they wandered through the park together. The echoes of laughter and the gentle rustle of leaves harmonized with his words. "Neither have I," Sabrina replied softly. "This is exactly what I wanted. Stories to invite change, to foster growth." Their conversation wandered into dreams of the future, contemplating new ventures and the threads of hope they planned to weave into the fabric of their community. Jack discussed his desire to use his experience to consult on new projects, emphasizing sustainable urban development and creating spaces that told stories as much as they served their functions. Sabrina, inspired by the interaction with her readers and the tangible connectivity her words fostered, began envisioning workshops for aspiring writers, creating a gathering place for voices waiting to be heard. "If a single voice can make a difference, imagine what a chorus could do," she suggested, eyes sparkling with ideas. "I think it's time to make it happen," Jack responded, the determination in his tone matching hers. Their paths, ambitions, and the immense satisfaction of seeing their endeavors come to fruition fortified their resolve and reinvigorated their shared mission. The weeks that followed were a blend of exploration and creation, Jack mentoring other architects and community planners, sharing insights and cultivating innovation. Meanwhile, Sabrina established her inaugural workshop series, guiding participants and shaping their narratives, empowering storytellers to embrace their unique journeys. Their work rippled outward, inspiring those around them to consider their narratives and communities with newfound depth and creativity. Despite the intricacies of their commitments, Jack and Sabrina remained resiliently interconnected, carving out time amidst their busy schedules to reaffirm their bond, often gravitating towards Jack's park to relish the transformations their dreams had manifested. Life held complexity, but also clarity, an acute recognition of the importance of individual and collective legacies. By sharing their journey, Jack and Sabrina found their voices entwined with those they touched, an infinite web of influence and community driving a cohesive purpose. We invite you to continue with us on this path. Subscribe for ongoing discussions and stories about wisdom honed through endeavors, creativity nourished by fellowship, and humanity addled by unyielding hope, as Jack and Sabrina's journey extends beyond their imagined horizons. The months rolled on, and the transformations that Jack and Sabrina had sparked began to take on a life of their own. The community engaged fully with the spaces they had cultivated, and both siblings became deeply embedded in the lives of those seeking inspiration and guidance. Jack continued to expand his vision beyond the park, consulting with other cities on projects that integrated community history with imaginative design. His reputation as an innovator fostered numerous opportunities, and through each project, he remained committed to the belief that every space could tell a story. Meanwhile, Sabrina's workshops grew in popularity. Participants from diverse backgrounds brought their narratives, and through collaborative sessions, found empowerment in the telling and shaping of their stories. The workshops provided a stage where silence turned to voice, and personal struggles became threads in a tapestry of resilience. One notable workshop series had participants crafting chapbooks from their stories, combining visuals and prose to create poignant, tangible expressions of their journeys. The projects culminated in an open night, where attendees shared their work with friends, family, and fellow writers. The event was a vibrant Berman, a testament to the cohort that had found unity and solace in narrative expression. As the participants shared their crafted stories, the room resonated with applause and admiration, culminating in a standing ovation that reverberated long after the last word. Jack attended the open night as both an observer and a fellow traveler in creative exploration. Watching the participants present their work stirred a profound pride in him for what Sabrina had achieved, and a deep respect for the courage the storytellers displayed. After the event, Jack and Sabrina reflected on the experiences that had brought them to this moment, a confluence of dreams and determinations realized by their collective efforts. Every life, every voice really does hold a universe within, Sabrina mused as she and Jack strolled back through the now iconic park. The world needs places, visible or otherwise, where every story can be fully imagined and shared, Jack replied, the lamplight casting shadows that danced like whispers between them. Their conversation drifted toward the horizon, considering future possibilities and the enduring impact of their shared accomplishments. The stories they had helped nurture were ripples in the water, set to usher in waves of transformation far beyond their own creation. Jack and Sabrina's commitment to fostering a world of creativity and connection had already planted seeds that would grow into projects and purposes touching lives unseen. They understood the journey was limitless, each step composed of myriad new beginnings within new stories yet unwritten. None of this possible alone, Jack stated, echoing the sentiment they both held close. Exactly, Sabrina agreed, smiling widely. Together is how we continue. Embracing the deepening night, they forged onward, confident in the beauty of collaboration, of reaching within and across to craft narratives that could shape future events and echoes, forever changed by their path. Don't miss the unfolding story. Subscribe to remain part of these shared journeys, bringing forth a richer tapestry of wisdom, community, and space where every voice contributes to the greater story. The legacy of Jack and Sabrina's combined efforts continued to ripple through their community and beyond as they settled into a rhythm of influence and mentorship. Both architects of change in their own right, their contributions fostered environments where storytelling and spatial design inspired a deeper understanding of resilience and growth. As time passed, the park became an emblem of renewal, celebrated in local media as a model of forward-thinking urban design. Jack embraced opportunities far and wide, guided by his core belief that places are vessels for human stories waiting to be told. On the other front, the community-driven publication of chapbooks grew in response to Sabrina's workshops, inspiring a network of platforms for emerging writers. Encouraged by the success, she conceived a foundation to nurture voices yearning to be heard, granting resources and opportunities for expression and empowerment. Their lives were busy and brimming with purpose, yet the connections they forged enhanced each moment. This unity was their barometer, guiding them through the evolving landscapes of their endeavors. There was a weekend retreat they organized, held within the park, an immersive experience celebrating connectivity through storytelling, art, and nature. Attendees explored creative sessions under the vast, skybound pavilion, partaking in dialogues that transcended any metric of simple connection. During one session, when asked about the guiding principle in their work, Jack looked at Sabrina beside him, the answer resonating clearly between them. "It's about believing in shared potential," he said, and Sabrina continued, "because together we rise." The participants, varying in age and background, nodded. Here, amidst the serenity of the natural space, the essence of unity was as palpable as the warmth of the sun overhead. The retreat's success reaffirmed their commitment to cultivating spaces that connect creators and audiences, underscoring the importance of platforms that amplify the collective potential of stories yet to unfold. Yet, even with all they had accomplished, Jack and Sabrina were aware there was more to come. The horizon was wide, and their intentions clear, while nurturing stories of spaces and people yet conjured. In shared solitude, when the crowd had dispersed and only echoes of conversations lingered in the cool evening breeze, Sabrina turned to Jack. "We've inspired each other more than we know," she said, gratitude shimmering in every word. "And we'll keep chasing the dreams we've started here," Jack replied, a pact signed in unspoken promises and mutual respect. As they gazed out over the park, the brilliant hues of sunset unfolding before them, Both understood that their journey was not merely a chapter laid to rest, but a testament to endurance and love, the cornerstone of their evolving legacy. Their story, while theirs, was also everyone's who dared to dream, to create, and to inspire. Embrace the continuous narrative with us by subscribing, ensuring that you can take part in every moment of growth, creativity, and the shared stories that connect us at the heart.